Another episode right here in Your 20s podcast. Man, you already know, like, I've been going around, I do interviews, I do this, I do that, and I never really touched the Mexican culture. But today I have one of the iconic legends. He's actually upcoming. Started this in November, but has been doing interviews with, for example, Pedro Tovarfa, Eslabon Armado, Danny Lux, and many, many, many more. Man, this is Ricky Ricardo, or AKA, what they call you?
El Perro, Chicago Rake Dog, however you remember me. Squeezy, for all the homies out there. I have a lot of nicknames, but I mean, now, yeah, you know, I work with Viva, and they call me El Perro.
Yeah, bro. I mean, we literally chopped it up 30 minutes ago, and we just met, chopped it up, good vibes. We're here at a restaurant. I think it's Colombian, right?
Yeah, Colombian, Arepa George. Shout out to them. They sponsored me, too, for the first ever soccer game with Eslabon Armado. They actually, they gave me funds, like, a lot, too.
Oh, shoot.
For the jerseys and stuff, so shout out to Arepa. And thank you, too, by the way. Thank you to Arepa for letting us use this space, you know.
Well, bro, like, I'm telling you, we chopped it up, and based on what I know, you're a genuine guy, but also, too, like, you're up and coming. But you've had successful interviews, too, as well, where people can just be like, in such short notice, how are you doing this? So I'm asking you, man, straight up, like, how did you even get in contact with the connections you have now? And what do you see yourself doing and pivoting somewhere else, you know?
Honestly, I struggle. I still struggle till this day. You know, I don't believe I'm the best interviewer, but you know, I do. That's how I did start it off. I just kicked it off with interviews and stuff. But then it comes to a point too where you're like, where I realized I'm like, nah, like I can't just be doing interviews. You know, it started going to a phase where I realized my views were going down, and my camera guy was like, maybe switch it up, do like a TikTok or something. You know, you don't always have to, you know, do interviews. And I'm like, all right, cool. So the next artist that came was Javier Rosas. I don't know if you know who Javier Rosas is.
Yeah. He has that song trending.
Andamos al mil por mío.
Yeah.
So that song was hot at the moment. He was coming to Mansion. And I'm like, man, like I have this crazy idea. What if we get 2 bottle girls and we get, you know, poppers. We pop a bottle of champagne and we start singing that song. For some reason, my brain was like, let's give it that like rock star vibe, like that artist lifestyle. Let's give it that touch. We did the video. He was down, and I had like 500,000 views or close to 500,000. I think it's like a little bit under 500K, and I realized like, holy shit, like
damn,
like I should start doing more skits. And so now I do a mix of everything. Now I do a mix of not just interviews. You know, you got to be diverse. You know,
right.
Do interviews, skits, TikToks, or you know, just mix of everything.
But
playing soccer games.
Oh, soccer games too as well. But with that interview with Javier Rosas, right?
No, that was the skit.
That was
the skit that when I first experimented and the first interview was with Danny Lux.
And this was back, but this is actually recent, not that long ago, no? Right.
The first time I did it was when I used to do photography.
Okay.
And I did photography because I wanted to connect more with the artist, but I always wanted to connect more like personally with the artist. So I came up with this idea called Barking It Up.
Okay.
And I did this little segment called Barking It Up. It was only 30 seconds. It was just rapid questions too. And the first artist that I did it with was with Danny Lux. I asked his team if it was okay. He was down. We did the little Barking It Up segment. And it was very successful. I think one of the clips got like over 100K views.
Wow.
Not the interview, just a clip.
Just like a clip, okay.
Yeah, like a little clip. I think I asked him like güeritas or latinas.
I think I saw that one.
Yeah. And
he said they're latinas and güeritas, I'll take them. Yeah.
And yeah, thanks to him, you know, I felt confident in doing these. So, you know, I started doing them. And then my boy who works with the company, his name is Jimmy. Shout out to Jimmy. He saw them. He's like, hey, you know, I see you doing this little side thing. You know, we're actually looking for someone to do this, but for the company. And I'm like, he's like, would you be interested?
Right.
I'm like, sure, let's give it a try. So I did it originally. I had like, I guess my interview, I guess you would say, was my tryout.
Oh.
My tryout was at the Ivan Cornejo concert,
Okay.
where I did like crowd interviews and stuff. I didn't get to interview Ivan Cornejo, but I did crowd interviews. They liked them. They used a couple of them, and then my actual interview was with Danny Lux, but with the company. So it was like a full circle moment. It was so dope. Like I did Barking It Up with Danny Lux, but my first official interview with the company was with Danny Lux. It was just like, yo, like.
So we knew you already. He was like, wait, I did.
Yeah. He remembered, and it was just like, damn, it's so crazy how life works, and yeah, and then the rest is history. You know, I was brought to the team, and here I am now. You know, doing interviews for the company with Vivatumusica and doing skits, doing a whole bunch of stupid shit too. You know, like not just interviews. Like I said, it's a whole bunch of a mixture of like a lot of things and stuff.
For sure. No, well, dude, it's crazy because you do photography, right? And you're making up these skits too as well. So based off that, you're already creative. Naturally, you're creative. So
I try.
no, man. And just doing it just recent too with the company is phenomenal. Because I know tomorrow, because this is not going to come out till next week, you're going to do Durango Fest too as well. So when you go to these events, I always ask people this because they ask me this. How do you prepare yourself mentally knowing that you're going to have to do crowd work, but also meeting a high profile name? You know, because Danny Lux, he's a high profile name, right?
Yeah.
And then these other people too as well, you're just like, whoa, like they have status. But at the end of the day, they're just human. But how do you mentally prepare to be like, you know, there's going to be hundreds of people looking at you, you know, like at that moment?
So I don't know if I should give you the honest answer or the.
You can put both, bro.
I don't know. I don't know how this might come off. I still get nervous. Till this day. There's not a day that goes by where I know I got to interview this person or this other person, and those nerves are never gonna go away.
Yeah.
Honestly, but I know this little trick that I would do back then. I don't do it now because you know I realized you know it's not like an essential thing, but I would take like a shot. I would take like a shot
to ease the nerves.
ease the nerves. Like a lot of people think they're like, damn, you're so social, bro. Like you're out there, you have this high energy.
Right.
And so, but I also get very antisocial.
Yeah, your social battery.
Too social.
Right.
Sometimes I'm just kind of like, gotta like I could be here. People could be.
You gotta level out a little bit too, because your social battery runs out.
So sometimes I would take like a little shot just to like, but then I realized like, nah, like this isn't gonna be the answer. Like this isn't the proper answer to things. So a lot of it too is just, I'm trying to be more prepared for it. Study more about whoever I'm gonna be with. If I'm gonna be doing an interview, you know, with Eslabon Armado or something, you know, obviously research what's going on recently with them,
for sure,
stuff like that. Or just you know, just dive deeper, you know, within, and just, you know, be prepared. That's all I can say. Just do your homework.
That's a great question.
Do your homework, you know.
Yeah. You always gotta prepare for those stuff too as well. So because you only get one shot, right? You might not get a second one. But on that topic too with Eslabon Armado. How did that even take place? How did you even get the opportunity to do that?
Yeah, shout out to Marco. He actually is connected with Eslabon Armado, and he's like, hey, you know, I'm bringing them like. I think he just started working with the company. But he had that connection with them. And originally, I had a connection to the 167 Green Room. I don't know if you're familiar with the 167 Green Room.
Sounds familiar.
It's like a basketball court in
the city skyline.
Yeah,
I was just there 3 weeks ago.
Get out,
bro. Bad Bunny was there in March.
You got to meet Michael?
I didn't meet him. It was like at 8 p.m. We went there. Shout out Kush. We went through Kush, Braden, and Soph literally a month ago. I'll literally pull it up and I'll send you a photo. I swear to God.
You actually went there?
On my mom, on my life. I'm going to send you a photo right after this too.
So this day, I've never gone there, but Eslabon Armado was the first group I was supposed to take there. But we had to postpone it twice. So the first time they came to do promo, they're like, what do you want to call them out on? And I'm like, man, well, I have a connect to this place. How dope would it be to do a game of basketball in this place? What is Eslabon Armado? Like, it's a place where a lot of like famous people go, you know, like Justin Bieber,
right?
You know, a lot of the NBA teams.
Actually, I know
like that. You said, Bad Bunny.
Bad Bunny was there in March. I know that.
Yeah, a lot of famous people. So I'm like, damn, like this is so dope. You know, how cool would it be to bring them? So I told Marco, I'm like, hey, let's do it here. Tell them that they're down. And he got back to me a few days later. He's like, I got good news and bad news. They don't want to play basketball. I'm like, fuck. But they're down to play soccer though. And I'm like, fuck it. You know, like I'm not the best soccer player. But you know, I'm not gonna back down from a challenge.
For sure.
So we kickstarted it. I'm like, I wanted to be, you know, I was just, you know, new with the company. I'm like, what can I do to pop off? You know, how can we attract, like, make this, you know, like you said, you only get one shot.
You get one shot.
So I treated it like a one shot thing, and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna assemble the Avengers.
Okay.
I'm like, when I mean by that, I'm gonna assemble the best local talent. I don't even want to say local, but the best talent of Chicago. You know, the best artists of Chicago, and I'm gonna ask them to be in my team. I didn't get to get all of the people that I wanted to be part of my team, but originally there were some people that just couldn't be there for some reasons.
Okay.
But the team ended up being, which the first one was the craziest. I got DJ Miriam.
Okay.
I got DJ Miriam to be part of the team. That was like amazing just to have her. Her presence was like known, and she's just such an amazing person. Shout out to DJ Miriam. Thank you so much once again. And then I had Grupo Sisma, who's doing their comeback at the time. Like, I don't even remember Angel Salcedo.
Yeah.
He used to be with Calibre 50. And then he became a soloist, and then he had just made the announcement that he's coming back to return to form the group Grupo Sisma. So I'm like, let me get Angel. So boom, we got Grupo Sisma. We got DJ Miriam. Then we have my homies. Shout out to Diferente Frecuencia, who are part of Colony. You know, I've always been kicking it off with them. Great people. They're like my brothers. Then we have El Malo, you know, rising artist right now. Shout out to El Malo. He just performed at Micha Fest. Well, actually, I take it back. His performance got canceled.
Because of the rain, right?
Because of the rain.
Okay.
The performance got canceled because of the rain, but he was able to, you know, give away some merch out there and you know, have a little
interaction with the crowd.
Yeah, he didn't get his stage performance, but he got to, you know, he did get to go on stage, and man, watch out for him. You know, he's doing crazy ass things. I know Fuerza Regida has been already using some of his songs too.
Right.
Not like the whole team, but like I know they sang one of his songs.
He's on the radar right there.
Yeah,
he's on the come up.
He's hot.
Damn.
Definitely. You know, I see him going bigger and above and beyond.
For sure.
And then so I had El Malo, DJ Miriam, Diferente Frecuencia, and I forgot, we added Vanguardia, but it wasn't the old Vanguardia with
Hector, right?
Hector.
Yeah.
Hector de Leme, shout out to my boy.
Yeah.
It was actually with the new Vanguardia that, like, you know, at the time Jaime was just starting out too. So it was like you know, we got Grupo Sisma, who's just returning, Vanguardia with a new face, and Malo, hot figure in the game, Diferente Frecuencia also rising, and DJ Miriam, you know, in general, like, it's a, you know, she's a girl,
she's a DJ,
she's a DJ, so it's kind of like a twist to it. So it was like, damn, you know, everybody was hype, you know, like like a lot of people wanted to buy tickets, you know, but obviously this was a private event, you know?
Right.
But man, like, it would have been so dope to actually,
bro, you set this up. That's the thing I'm hearing. Like, you set this up yourself, which is actually the team.
It wouldn't be possible without, you know, we had to also look for sponsors. That's a lot of things. We did this all last minute. We had to look for sponsors. Shout out to Repa George. We're with them right now. One of the sponsors for the jerseys. Great food, by the way. Make sure you try their arepas. Yeah, we ended up getting a lot of sponsors
for sure,
who were able to make this happen. And, you know, Marco, we got the field.
Okay.
It was by the Chicago Fire Field.
Okay. Oh, dope. Okay.
And yeah, shout out to him too. You know, it was a team thing.
But who won though? Who actually won? Them or you? Because I know Augusto Papa did the same thing.
They kicked our ass, bro. They embarrassed us. Not just once, but twice. I had the special opportunity to, you know, connect with them again, and we also got to run it back. And they
killed you again.
They killed us again. But, you know, we might have a final game. You know, it might be in September. You know, I'll give you a little intel. I'll give you a little intel. We might have one final game. this time it's gonna be with influencers. Hopefully that's the goal. Hopefully, I'll give you the info. I got to meet Augusto Papa.
For sure.
I got to meet Santea. I met them at Sueños. Yeah, so hopefully, and Danny Luggs said he's down to be part of the team. So hopefully this time I'll assemble like the Avengers of influencers plus Danny Luggs. And there's actually a video too where Danny Luggs said that he's down. He's like, Pedro, I'm coming after you. Damn. You can find it in my feed.
So what's it gonna? So you already have these big artists coming together playing soccer, and you're meeting these people. Who would you want to collab with? Like, who's someone an idol that you'd be like, you know what? Damn, like it would be a dream to have him on my team, but also to do a skit with them. You know?
Oh man, honestly,
one person though.
But one
artist. Could be a group or an artist.
It could be an influencer, artist, or
honest musician. We'll keep it a musician right now.
Keep it in musically.
Yeah, musically. Because I know we have some big works content-wise that you're gonna shoot that you were telling me before. So we're gonna keep that private for now until it comes out.
Man, musically, bro. Ivan Cornejo, bro.
Jeez.
Ivan Cornejo, bros. You know,
sad boy vibes.
You know, I think I don't know if he plays soccer or anything, but it would be so cool to have Ivan Cornejo. He's such a cool ass dude.
He seems humble, bro. Based off the videos,
he just dropped the new album too. I've been listening to it.
Let's not say.
I don't know. For some reason, I always love listening to sad music. Like, I'm not sad, but like I just like love it. Like, I'm just listening to it. Like, especially at night, it just hits different. But I think I would love to, you know, do something with him. It'll be dope as fuck.
No, dude, I mean, that's so cool. Like, you're doing all these little things but you started with photography, what I heard too at the beginning. So when you started with photography, what age was it?
He was actually, I remember shooting for Ivan Cornejo too. And he was one of the first people I posted pictures of him, and he commented. This was when he was just rising. And I remember he commented, he's like fire pics, compa, you know, like
when was this?
This was like beginning of the year of 2021 or 2022.
Oh,
like New Year's Day. Like he was at V Live. He performed at V Live. And I remember him commenting. I'm like, holy shit, like Ivan Cornejo just commented on my flicks.
Bro, that's sick.
So I would love to, you know, reconnect with him. I did get to see him at Sueños, you know, very like quickly.
Yeah.
And stuff.
Do you remember?
But I would love to. I don't. You know, he meets a lot of people. I don't think so. But yeah, he's. I would love to actually like, you know, like bark it up with him or something. You know, like just sit down and talk to him or have him like play in a soccer game or something.
Well, dude, it'll be nuts, bro. Manifestation is real.
Yeah.
So you keep that in mind, bro. That's gonna happen. But you're being in the music industry. I've asked this question before to artists. También, because we know this industry could be tough, but also too like bad stuff can come with it. So bro, like obviously drogas are around, la mafia, la maña are around too. Like, there's no doubt about it. How do you get around that to not involve yourself with the wrong people, right?
Honestly, it's actually, well, thank God, like I don't think it's ever been an issue for me. I think whenever I see that, you know, or people offer me to smoke or stuff like that, you know, I tried it like when I was in college, obviously,
for sure.
You know, but it was never my thing. Like, it was one of those things where I never got into that, and so I never felt bad saying no, like no to smoking, or anything like that. Or I see people, you know, you see people out here in the bathrooms doing cocaine.
Yeah, bro, ahí en el baño.
Like, I remember I was doing an interview one time too. Somebody came up to me like, "You want some coke?" Like, they're in the middle of an interview. I think you can find it soon.
God damn, bro.
But like, nah. I mean, honestly, like, I've never been scared to say no. I don't think. Yeah, I've never been scared to say no. I'm pretty straight up like, nah, I don't smoke. You know.
I asked that question too, cause bro, like when you're doing your stuff, obviously you're not trying to not say hi to no one, not offend anyone. So you're gonna saludar a todos, right? That's how I was raised, and I'm sure that's how you were raised too as well.
Yeah.
But sometimes you just know, right? And I've been in that position where you know, but you're not gonna just be
maybe
like,
back then. But I feel like now, you know, everybody
se saluda.
Everybody has their, you know, cup of tea, you know, and I feel like everybody's like more aware now, or more okay with like we all have, you know, our own gustos, you know.
Sí.
So I feel like now it's, you know, if you don't like smoking, that's cool, you know. Maybe back then they'll probably be like, then what the fuck are you doing here?
For sure. Have you ever been feel pressure in doing, not in that like the drugs and stuff, like doing a skit or an interview you were uncomfortable with? It doesn't have to be with the company you are now. It could be before, or maybe it's just something you just weren't comfortable with, and you're just like, damn. Like against your morals, bro. You know what I mean?
No, because I tell them straight up, like if I feel comfortable doing it, I'll do it. I'm not just gonna do it just to, do it. Like if I'm uneducated, I mean obviously that's part of the job, to get educated.
Right.
But if I'm legitly like uneducated or is something that's not like in my alley, I'll tell them straight up like this is not something, I want to do or stuff.
For sure. Well, you're well spoken, so like no doubt about it. I'm pretty sure you communicated with other people too. Like, yo, aquí es la línea, this is the line. Yeah. But I'm gonna ask you this because this just happened to me yesterday. Has there been a moment when you do this interviews or skits where maybe you say something that comes off offensive, but you didn't mean it, or maybe you said something you shouldn't, like in an interview or a skit?
Like a blooper? Like I mean, yeah, I guess you could say I had a little blooper with Majo Aguilar. I don't know if you're familiar with Majo Aguilar.
I heard the name.
She's cousins with Angel Aguilar.
Okay. Hell yeah.
Who I think who's recently with Cristiano.
Yeah. Hell yeah. She's beautiful.
But anyways, Majo Aguilar. Shout out to Majo Aguilar. She's a talented singer. She's badass. Had this thing where I was interviewing her. You ever just like sometimes do an interview and this word gets stuck to you?
Yeah.
So I think I asked her like, what is her ideal date? So like, ¿cuál es tu cita ideal? In Spanish.
Right.
So in Spanish, I asked her, well, once I finished up the interview, I asked her, I was going to say, muchísimas gracias por la entrevista. But instead I said, muchísimas gracias por la cita. So like...
So like you're shooting your shot.
So basically, I told her like, thank you for the date. Like, and I was like, and then I basically like, I caught the moment. And she just looked at me like, bruh, but she laughed it off. She was cool as fuck. She like,
you think she understood?
She made, oh no, she,
okay.
You could, I'll send you the interview,
bro.
She basically made fun of the situation. And she's like, actually, I have a boyfriend. She's like, bye. Like she pulled it off. She played it off like in a comical way. Like, bro. She understood that I fucked up, and but I think that was like probably the most embarrassing moment. But she was just so cool about it, so it was just kind of like,
dude, that's so dope. I only asked you that because yesterday I interviewed Vic Mensa. So when I interviewed him, I was doing a skit before asking people, are you a piece of Palooza? Like this funny skit, piece of Palooza because you can't afford Lollapalooza. So when I did a skit with him, it went well the first 40 seconds. And then at the end, I said, are you at Peace Palooza because you couldn't go to Lollapalooza? And then my friend, Estefania, who was behind the camera, she just like, I just saw her mouth open. Dude, Vic, I'm telling you, bro, I didn't mean it. We talked right after, though. But I felt him just stare at me, and then we shook up. But then like he just looked at me for 5 seconds.
Did he give you an answer? Or?
He ignored it.
Oh,
he ignored
shit.
it, and he just said like the next upcoming Chicago artist that he sees in his eye. Like he ignored the question. I don't know if I even want to put it up, but that one, and then
we talked about it afterwards.
Well, we talked like 30 minutes later. Like we just shook up. He's like, thank you, whatever, yada yada. And I did a skit with him. I wasn't in the skit, but I did a skit for my boy and then with him. So that was a blooper, bro.
That's crazy.
With Vic Mensa, who was iconic.
Say, fuck it, why not?
Well, you got to do something else. Yeah, bro. You got to do some errors.
And I think as long as, it wasn't intentional.
No, for sure, bro. He's one of the legends of Chicago.
Well, it is, I get it. It is embarrassing, because like you said, as interviewers, we have to be professional and prepared,
For sure. And that's what I'm saying. Like, yeah, you on social media, you have this presence where you're like all energetic and también. And like you said, you have to be professional. But at times, bro, it gets tiring también, bro. Like, gente don't know, like, bro, like you have to say hi, you have to saludar for multiple hours throughout that whole session. Like tomorrow, Durango Fest, you're doing that.
Yeah.
Bro, you're going to be there for 5+ hours. Saludando a todos, bro, making skits, interviews. Like, it gets tiring, you know what I mean? And I know you do it for the love of it, but when you're doing this, like, how do you go into it? Like, how do you mentally prepare? Like, okay, es un trabajo también, but I want to have fun. Because people don't want to go into a job every single day, right?
I think you answered it yourself, like, kind of, if you got to have fun. If you're not having fun doing it, then why are you doing it?
Right.
Like, so you got to find ways to make it fun, and always to make it about them. Make it about whoever you're interviewing or whoever you're doing content with, like I always try not to make it about myself. I try to make it about the person I'm with, give them the spotlight,
For sure.
and yeah, just go in with like a mentality of like, doing it because you're having fun, and and I try not to do it, I try to be humble too about
For
it.
sure.
For sure. Yeah.
I'm part of like Pedro Tovar, and Danny Lux. Who else have you had the privilege to like do a fun skit with, or an interview, or just had a pleasure to meet and not even do anything? Like someone that you see iconic.
Yeah. Banda MS.
Oh,
Banda MS. I got to meet them. I got to go to both dates.
Okay.
They came to Chicago for 2 dates, and I did a skit with them. I like doing these skits where basically like I'm like, it's been repetitive kind of almost, where I'm like in love with this girl and I make up a skit where I'm scared to DM her or something. So
Right.
point is, here's the funny part. My camera guy Jimmy, he asked me, he's like, "Damn, bro, like that was dope." Like after we did the skit, he's like, "That was cool as fuck."
Uh-huh.
And I'm like, "It's actually based off like a real situation." Like, so the skit was, I talked to one of the band members from Banda MS, and it was like, hey bro, like, I met this girl at this event. I'm scared to DM her. But the fuck did I do this kid? I basically told her I'm scared to DM her, but she knows like I'm interested in her. Like what do you advise me to do? And basically he's like, well, how about we sing a song to her?
Oh.
So like we did this skit where we sing Háblame de ti, and nobody knows, but it was for that one girl. And I later got to tell her like it was about her. And so a lot of people think like, man, like these skits are like made up, but sometimes they're based off like
True story.
true things that I'm like going through, and I'm like, you know what, let me make something out of this. And yeah, I got to do a little skit with them, and they loved it. The next day I come, he's like, Perro, like they memorized me right away. Like it was so cool. Like that's how I know, like, I'm doing my job. Like if he remembers me the next day, that means he enjoyed having a good time.
Good time.
And then the second day we did another skit where I go up to this guy. His name is DJ La Loquera. Shout out to DJ La Loquera. He's out there doing a lot of dope ass things.
Right.
Where I basically go up to him and I'm like, compa me gusta su vieja. And basically we start singing the song Compa me gusta su vieja.
Right.
And but then Banda MS comes out and sings it. Like I go up to him and there's a girl next to him. And like I just tell him straight up, I like your girl. And we basically did a skit where security's holding him off. He's mad as fuck that I'm telling him that, and I think that got over 500K views on TikTok. And now I think it started off with 100K views on Instagram, and think right now it's close to like 300K. I still haven't hit that 1 milli.
Not yet.
I haven't hit a 1 milli video, but I'm manifesting that 1 milli video one day. Hopefully,
Bro, it's gonna happen.
You never know. That's the thing about these things, is you never know, and it's just kind of like, that's why you got to treat them like it's a one-shot thing. Like what are you gonna do today? Like what this, you have access to, like for example, I'm gonna have access to Alacranes, Musical,
OGs, yeah.
Capaz, Montes de Durango, Conjunto Atardecer. What am I gonna do? So you never know. It might even be with them. Is sometimes that's the videos that you least expect. Sometimes you don't try on some of the videos, and so it's almost like you're opening a pack of Pokemon cards. You never know if you're gonna get that.
It's genuine. It's authentic. Like you're going into it without, obviously.
Yeah, I realized I try to be a perfectionist about it, but sometimes you just gotta, like, shout out to my boy Gary V. Gary V just says, just post. Just do something. Like how many times are you posting a day? Something as simple like just be consistent, dude. Who gives a fuck? Like I mean, you gotta give a fuck about
the quality.
The quality. There's
Don't be judged.
But like just post it, bro.
Yeah.
Like so nowadays, I try to, just get content, but, you got to also try to maintain that quality too. So you got to find that balance too, where you want to make it like, you want to have that quality within the video, but you also just don't want to be scared to not do anything. Like, don't be scared about it either, because then you won't get nothing at the
Well, when you're scared to jump, that's when you jump. That's what I always see too, like these motivators and stuff. Like when you don't, you have to be uncomfortable to grow, bro. Like simple as that, bro. Like what you're doing, like I said, when you first started, you got thrown in the fire doing these interviews and stuff. But that's how you.
And the crazy part is, I got thrown doing crowd interviews with Ivan Cornejo. So I never did crowd interviews.
Right.
I always just, I thought I was just gonna do, artist interviews and stuff, and that's when I realized, like, okay, I gotta adapt. I'm not always gonna have access to the artists. Like, I didn't have access to Ivan Cornejo that day.
Right.
So it's like, what can you do with the people then? Like, what can you, like you said best, you don't find excuses, because there's always an answer. And it might not be the direct answer you're looking for, but maybe there's an answer within the community, within something else,
Yeah.
You can make, you gotta find a way to, to make the best out of it.
Oh yeah, life is chess, man. You just gotta make the best possible move.
Hell yeah.
That's the best part. But dude, just to keep this like a short time frame right now, do you think Mexican regional music is just gonna take over for the next decade, or do you see because I always see reggaeton and then the Mexican music.
Well, that's the cool thing too. You got Peso Pluma, like kind of like, and all these other artists like Luis R. Conriquez.
Oh, bro, he's killing it right now.
It's like that also infuse that little. They're starting to infuse that little reggaeton in it.
Some house music, no?
And then you also got corridos progresivos that are back.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, I think we're in the golden era of regional We're in the regional Mexican industry, like el regional mexicano. We're in the golden era of it, and I say just kind of like just enjoy it, because you got multiple artists. It's not just the big artists like Ivan Cornejo, Peso Pluma. It's also the OGs too who are back with it, like Regulo Caro, Gerardo Ortiz, Noel Torres, and even you got Duranguense, who are still out there doing their thing. It's we're in it. This is it. We're and it's cool to see Peso Pluma also like fuse it with like rap, and stuff like that too. You got Fuerza Regida doing, like, I think he did a song too where he tested it out. He did like a rap song. He sang it in English.
I don't think
it's called The Fuck.
Himself, no feature?
Just himself singing in English.
Damn, okay. I gotta hear that.
It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. It's different. Like, a lot of people would probably hate on it, but it's pretty cool.
Right. Dude, that's dope. I mean, I was gonna ask you too, who do you think is underrated right now then in the music game?
Underrated right now, man. There's probably two artists I could think of that I remember I really like fuck with them hard. And I, obviously they're not hitting as much now, but Tercer Elemento. I don't know if you remember it, man. I used to sing Rafa Caro,
yeah.
or En Menos de un Minuto.
Yup.
Like, or Fire Up. Like, man, like I remember, man. And the crazy part is, shout out to Nathaniel Cano, who he's known for the corridos tumbados, but I think before that, I think Chris Nava, from Tercer Elemento, he kind of like paved that like smoking weed, like music, Mexican music too, where in a way I think he's undercredited, that he kind of, I feel like in a way, I'm not saying he started corridos tumbados, but he kind of paved the way there.
I know what you mean.
Like,
yeah.
And I think he's super underrated. I'm excited. I think he has a song with Peso Pluma dropping soon.
Oh, wow.
He posted a flick with him. So I'm excited, shout out to my boy Chris Nava. Then you got Adriel Favela too.
I was going to ask you this because you said Natal Cano. You don't think Herencia de Patrones, I think I'm pronouncing that right, you don't think they were before Natal Cano in that wave scene, like influencing, first the style and then second to promoting, a different wave?
Yeah.
Or is that, or how do you see it?
Man, honestly, I don't want to answer that question just because I'm kind of uneducated on them. I feel like I'm not like I wasn't too locked in on their music. But But I do remember it all started with like a clica. I remember it was Junior H, Nathaniel Cano,
Yeah.
HP, Ovi. Do you remember Ovi?
Yeah.
Fuerza Regida.
Even Gavitos,
Legado
bro.
7.
Oh, bro, I remember
Personal
that.
Efectivo. You know, like
Yeah.
the SMO tour, you know, people. But
Yeah. El de la guitarra también.
But I know for sure you got to give credits to Nata, who, you know,
Started it all.
the king of corrido tumbados. But also I think, like I said, going back to Chris Nava, you know, from Tercer Elemento, I think he also helped, you know, kind of pioneer to that direction too.
Paved the way.
So I would love to, hopefully he makes that comeback, you know, and I'm excited for that song that he has dropping soon with Peso Polo.
Ricky, bro.
Yeah.
Ricky, or how do you want me?
Ricky, I mean, yeah, you can say Ricky, Rick Dog. I mean, a lot of people, I guess you could say, know me. They know me. Like I said, it all depends on how you remember me. Photography scene is always going to be Rick Dog. You know, high school, they call me Squeezy. Squeezy. Of my laugh. So I don't know, I had this laugh where when I would laugh like a teapot. Or like the penguin from Toy Story.
I know you're talking about.
They're like Squeezy, so they would always say Squeezy. And then I ended up using, fun fact, the reason I went with El Perro was because obviously I'm known already for Rick Dog photography scene, but kind of like to start off brand new and fresh, you know, within the company, I kind of like had to quickly, like on the spot, like on the day of Ivan Cornejo, the concert, I had to come up with like a name, and I'm like, fuck, like I wanted to use Rick Dog, but I didn't because, you know, that's I want to keep that separate. So I'm like, okay, something related to Rick Dog, and I'm like, fuck it, El Perro. And then I just started using El Perro for everything, and I'm like, oh shit, like people are like, and then when people would see me at events, they're like Perro, or they'll bark at me like, like or when they see me, like even now too, like they start barking at me or something. And, you know, I never expected it to have a little wave to it, you know, like, so.
It's like the identity.
And I have a brand dropping soon, you know. I'm very excited. Actually just in Micha Fest, I got to promote it for the first time.
Oh, wow.
And the brand is going to be called Ando Perro. And I'm excited, you know. I was just, obviously I didn't have merch to hand out, shirts and stuff, you know, it's very expensive. But I handed out stickers to just kind of get the name out there, and just seeing people's reactions, how excited they were to see the name and just hold like a, you know, read the name and be like, damn, this is raw as fuck. Like I can see this brand being bigger than me. Like,
I like that.
Like it's going to be bigger than what I do now. It's going to be, you know, hopefully global, you know.
You see the vision already.
I see the vision already, but
the confidence is behind it too.
So dropping soon, Ando Perro.
Sure, bro. Ricky, bro, thank you for the time too, and thank you for the place, like actually hosting it too, and for bringing me here, dude. It's been phenomenal.
We gotta try some food right now, bro.
For sure.
We're about to try their arepas and maybe some empanadas. Jeez. They also got like some fire ass smoothies too.
Damn, bro. No, bro, pleasure, bro. Ricky, bro, thank you so much, bro, for you hopping on. Pero in your 20 shows, so like I'm gonna say, and then the recent one we just did with Boshi. So check that out, boys, too, as well. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, all that stuff, and we're gonna see you in the next one, boys.